Meredith, it's Katie again. I hope you had a wonderful Easter weekend, and I hope that you're ready to get back to our regularly scheduled activities because this week is Poetry Week. And buckle in, folks, it's going to be a wild ride. Before we start, I just wanted to clarify something. Poetry is not just about rhyming. I mean, it can be. Rhyming is super fun. Who doesn't love to say eeny, meeny, miny, mo? But it's also so much more. Think about your favorite song, the song that you listen to make you feel better, or to make you feel happy. That song is poetry. And so are haikus. Today we're going to be talking a lot about haikus. And in fact, this whole week we're going to be talking quite a bit about haikus. But before we get to that, I wanted to walk you through a little bit of our packet. So there's a few things I want you to know. This packet is your weekly packet. It's full of 16, I think, activities that you can do this week. And for each activity that you do and that you check off and turn into my box, I will give you 1 lamb buck. So that's quite a few lamb bucks you could earn. On the first page, we have your checklist. This is the list of all the activities that you have for this week. So it looks like I actually have 14 activities. Sorry, guys, 14 lamb bucks. And the important thing for parents is that any activity you see with a blue badge next to it is an activity that you can make easy for your toddlers. It's still an activity for older kids, but toddlers can do it as well with help from their parents. All right, other things I want you to know. On page 5, we have a collection of haikus, and most of these haikus are 350 years old. And they're beautiful. I love them. So I would encourage everybody to check out these haikus. It doesn't have to be, this activity I think is for Wednesday, but it doesn't have to be a Wednesday activity. You can look at this activity. You can read these haikus right now. And then the last thing I have for you is this playlist. So on this YouTube channel, I've made a playlist titled Poetry Week. And it's a combination of songs and poems that I think are beautiful. So go ahead and check out at least 2 songs and 2 poems so that you can start to look at how music is poetry and poetry is music. And then down below, this activity I think is for Thursday, but you can again do this any day during the week. You can tell me which song you liked the most and which poem you liked the most. There's some funny ones, there's some serious ones. There's some loud ones, there's some quiet ones. There's all kinds of poems and songs in this playlist, so check it out. All right, now let's get down to talking about haikus. Does anyone know where haikus started? What country invented the haiku? It was Japan. So around the 1600s, haikus were very, very popular in Japan, and they're poems that are very, very short. They're just 3 lines long. They are about a moment in nature, or so outside, or an animal, or something natural. And they follow a very specific pattern, a pattern of syllables. Now, a syllable is a part of a word. So let's look at a word and talk about what a syllable is. My name is Katie, and it has 2 syllables in it. I know because I can clap to it. K-T. The word Tuesday also has 2 syllables in it. Again, let's clap to it. Tuesday. Let's see, what's another word we could think of? How about telephone? How many syllables do you think are in telephone? Let's clap to it. Telephone. That one has 3 syllables. So a haiku has a very specific pattern of syllables. It has 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. And that's all a haiku is. It's a short 3-lined poem about nature. So we're going to be talking quite a lot about haikus this week. And your packet has quite a few activities I want you to look at. But for today, we're just going to look at the first couple pages. But before we do that, I want to show you a haiku that I wrote a few years ago. On the front of this packet, I have a quote. It says, "Poetry is that time of night, lying in bed, thinking what you really think." Let's read it again. Poetry is that time of night, lying in bed, thinking what you really think. So I have a poem for you, a haiku for you, about a time I was lying in bed thinking what I really think. And this time was a few years ago when I was a teacher in Nicaragua. Nicaragua is a country in Latin America. They speak Spanish there. It's south of the United States. And they have a lot of mosquitoes. A lot of mosquitoes. So I had to sleep every night with a mosquito net around my bed to protect me from the nighttime mosquito bites. But every once in a while, one little mosquito would sneak into my mosquito net and it would wake me up with either a bite or a little sound. Buzz. And this is a poem about one night when I knew that a mosquito had gotten in. So here's my haiku right up here. Let me go get it for you. Right. It says, defenses have failed. There is a mosquito here, somewhere in this net. All right, so let's see if this is really a haiku. Is it about nature? It is. There's an animal in it. There's a little mosquito in it. So that's nature. Is it 3 lines long? 1, 2, 3. Why, yes, it is. And now it's time for us to count the syllables. So let's give this a shot. Okay, are we ready to count the syllables? Defenses have failed. Defenses have failed. How many syllables are in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 syllables. Next line. There is a mosquito here. There is a mosquito here. 7 syllables. Somewhere in this net. Somewhere in this net. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 syllables. So it's a poem about nature. It's only 3 lines. It starts with 5 syllables, has 7 syllables in the middle line, and finishes with 5 syllables. Folks, I think we have a haiku. So there you go. It's pretty easy to write a haiku, and you'll get to do that either on Wednesday or Thursday of this week in your activity packet. But for right now, I want us to think a little bit about what this haiku looks like. So think in your head, every haiku has a subtext, what it's about, and a setting, where it is. So my haiku has the subject of a mosquito. It's about a mosquito. And the setting is where? In my mosquito net on my bed. So to help us visualize, I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture of my haiku. Let me get some paper and a pencil, and I'll be right back to you with a drawing. All right, guys, I'm back with my illustration of my haiku. Are you ready to see it? Now, remember, this poem was about a mosquito, and it was set in my mosquito net on my bed. So let's see if we can find those things in this drawing. Here it is. There's me sleeping. So there's my bed, and here's my mosquito net keeping me nice and safe. But what's this? What's this little dot? It's a mosquito, and it's saying buzz. And I'm thinking, oh no. So there you go. That's my drawing of my poem. I hope you liked it. All right. So now we're just going to walk through a couple pages of this activity packet, and then I'll let you guys go. This is the first day, Tuesday. So here you have the chance to read another haiku and think about what it's about, what the subject of this haiku is. And then on the next page, we have another activity for today. In this one, you get to read one of my very favorite haikus. This is a haiku that was written 350 years ago, and I think it's still kind of funny. So go ahead and read this haiku, count the syllables, and down here you can draw what you think this haiku is about. And that's it. Those are the first activities for this week. Go ahead and do those activities. Show me if you do, or tell me in the comments below. So let me know the fun you have with poetry this week, because I really want to hear from you. And I hope you have a good time. Bye.